the same 4 times.
Can't do that no more, can you?
The April 19th, 2022 meeting of the Union County Zoning Board of Adjustment is now in session. I'm Rick Davis, Chairman of the Union County Zoning Board of Adjustment. Also sitting on tonight's board are Vice Chair Darren Green, Larry Britt, Bill McGuirk, Mark Tilley, and alternates Francis Ward. Also present are Matthew Ray, the planner, Amy Griffin, clerk to the Zoning Board of Adjustment, and Derek Thurman, who is the attorney for the Zoning Board of Adjustment. We have a hearing of 3 types: the application for a variance from the regulations in the zoning ordinance, or appeal from a decision or interpretation of the zoning administrator, or an application for special use permit. The order of each case will be as follows. All parties who plan to give testimony pro or con must complete the green form to speak and be sworn in. A planning staff member will explain why a permit was denied or why a variance is requested, or the nature of the special use permit application. The board may question the planning staff member, the applicant may question the planning staff member, and then the applicant presents his testimony for the case. The board may question the applicant. The planning staff member and persons in opposition may question the applicant. The applicant may present sworn witnesses. They will be subject to cross-examination. Other parties wishing to speak pro or con will be given reasonable time to present sworn testimony. They will be subject to cross-examination. The planning staff member and then the applicant will be given an opportunity for rebuttal. After hearing a case, the board will review the case and render a decision. This is usually done following the close of the public hearing and the board's deliberation. However, the board may elect to take up to 30 days to render a decision. You may remain present during the deliberations, or you may call the Union County Planning Department after session to receive the decision of the board. All exhibits must remain with the board, and please hand them first to the clerk for tagging. If you feel there's a conflict of interest of any member of the board or an association with that prejudice your case, please let it be known at the start of your case. We are a quasi-judicial board and can only accept sworn testimony. No hearsay evidence is admissible. The appeal from this board is to the Union County Superior Court. You have 30 days from the day of the board's written decision in which to appeal, in accordance with NCGS 160A-388E. We'd like to ask that everyone please turn off your cell phones. Okay, for the agenda tonight, we want to make sure we have a determination of a quorum, and we do. And there'll be a swearing in of new members or members that have been reappointed. I was reappointed, so I have to do the swearing in of myself. Now, I'm doing a good job at it, trying to. All right, my left hand on the Bible, my right hand raised. I, Rick Davis. Ma'am?
Stand up, too.
Okay.
You gotta make it real official.
I, Rick Davis, do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as a member of the Union County Board of Adjustment, so help me God. I, Rick Davis, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established to the government thereof, and that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God. I, Rick Davis, do swear that I will well and truly execute the duties of the office of a member of the Union County Board of Adjustment according to the best of my skill and ability, according to law, so help me God. Thank you. Now,
Welcome back.
thank you. So I was reappointed. Okay, we do have the approval of the minutes for January the 19th and March the 15th, 2022 Board of Adjustment minutes.
Motion
Are
to
there any
approve.
changes or
Motion.
additions?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Second? Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now we will proceed on. All right, we'll be having a public hearing A, determination of any conflicts of interest for case number 2022 SUP-01, items B. Does anyone have any conflicts of interest?
No, sir.
Okay, so we will identify the special use permit. All right, the special use permit is item B. The applicant, Kevin Presley, is requesting a special use permit to operate an indoor wedding and event venue on the property located at 6010 Mill Grove Road. The Union County Development Ordinance requires the issuance of a special use permit for major indoor entertainment and spectator sports in the RA 40 zoning district. Okay, Mr. Ray, is the petition complete?
It is.
Okay, Matthew, thank you. Does any of the board members have a conflict of interest with this case?
No, sir.
Everybody good with that? All right, I ask for a motion to hear the petition.
So moved.
Second.
All right, and then we vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. With all those who plan to give testimony, please come forward and be sworn. Okay, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter at hand? Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Kevin, you need to fill out one of the little green sheets up there?
Yes,
You already
sir.
got it? Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Yes, swear him in too.
All right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter at hand?
I do, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ray, would you present the case, please?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So we are here to discuss the special use permit for the indoor entertainment and spectator sports. The property owner information. So the property is located at 6010 Mill Grove Road, and more specifically parcel number 07060-09260. The applicant is Kevin Presley, and the current owner is the Craig Avenue Tabernacle APR Church. In reference to some background about the special use permit here, the applicant, Kevin Presley, is requesting a special use permit for entertainment and spectator sports to operate a private wedding and event venue from the existing facility. The property is zoned RA 40, and an event venue is allowed on RA 40 with a special use permit. The property was previously a place of worship that allowed similar things. There are already similar gatherings, such as wedding and events, as an ancillary use. The applicant intends to improve the property, adding screening along Mills Grove Road, where it is located. As you can see here, here are views from the north and south of the existing site, as well as a front view of what's currently there, and an aerial of the site. Here you can see a concept plan that includes the future additions that are being planned on the site. You can see a few expansions to the building, as well as some parking and the screening along the road, as well as some to adjacent property. In terms of some of the more demographical aspects of the project, you can see in terms of development status, the property is currently considered to be developed. Environmental features, there are wetlands on the property, however, none of them are located within any of the area that's being built upon. The zoning, so this is in Hemby Bridge's zoning district, but Hemby Bridge contracts out some of their zoning and planning responsibilities to the county, which is why this is before the board here. In terms of the transportation and the current road that the site is on, like we said, it's on Mills Grove over there, which is a 2-lane road with a paved shoulder, and that won't be changed at all through the course of this project. And in terms of the land use plan, this one doesn't use the Union County land use plan since it's in Hemby Bridge. This particular plan uses the Hemby Bridge Small Area Plan, which was also developed by us. For the Hemby Bridge Small Area Plan, this specific site is the very small one in blue down there towards the middle. It's listed as an institutional use, and this particular use of the site is in spirit with the Hemby Bridge Small Area Plan. In terms of staff recommendations for the project, we recommend that it must comply with all local, state, and federal regulations. It must comply with the Union County Development Ordinance and North Carolina Building Code. We recommend that all events and ceremonies will be conducted inside the structure. We recommend that an S1 screening be provided along Mill Grove Road as shown on the concept plan, and that there be a supplemental S2 screening along adjacent properties abutting with a residential use. The site plan shall be in general conformity with the concept plan, and we recommend anything that NCDOT approval on proposed driveway entrances for the project. If there are any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I will turn it over to the applicant.
I have one question. Is there a capacity limit on people or occupants of the building? How does that be handled?
I'm sure that there is. I'm not sure what the capacity limit is, though.
Okay.
I don't think that's an issue
Is it not?
in the
Okay.
zoning
Maybe
code.
fire
I mean,
marshal
that's
issue.
more
Yeah,
of an issue
that'd
for
be like
the
fire.
marshal, which
Okay.
Yeah, that'd
they
be
would
fire
still need to
code.
comply with local
Okay.
rules.
Okay. All right. I'm good. Anyone have any questions?
I have one. You said on there about the North Carolina DOT approval of the driveway entrances.
Correct.
Are they already approved for the facility that's already there?
So from my understanding, there was some discrepancy about whether or not they were going to put in a second entrance to the site. If they did, NCDOT may require them to put in a turning lane. The current concept plan, I believe, shows both entrances. However, I think with NCDOT requesting they put in the turning lane, that they are just going with one, but I believe you can speak to that. Yeah, he'll be able to elaborate more on that, but
Okay.
that's essentially what that was about, yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Presley?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Travis Pressler came out and did a
Okay,
site.
would you state your name?
Oh, Kevin Presley,
Okay.
yes, sir. Travis Pressler came out. We originally, just for aesthetics, was going to move the driveway. It does have its entrance that it doesn't have now, the existing entrance. We were going to put it out and line it up with the road. I think it's Hembywood Road. I don't have y'all probably got the map there. But so we drew it like that. So when Travis came out, he said, well, we've got this already a turning lane there now. So we really wasn't going to have two entrances. We were going to shut one off completely. And so it really, again, it didn't really matter to us. So we just said, okay, the path of least resistance, let's put it back. And you should have the email in your packet from Travis. I don't know if you do or not, but the email that says that we weren't required any kind of turning lanes or anything like that. So I forwarded that to Mr. King.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Presley, on the evidence, will this be considered, since Mr. Morrison is not here, this will be considered as,
Yeah, I think the better approach going forward is that the appraiser or, ought to be here, but since there's no opposition and it does have his stamp on it, I think it's okay for you to accept it.
okay.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. That does look like the feasibility study that I had Rob to do for us.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure that we're right, since we're not here to go forward with. Okay. All right, would you explain to us now, basically what you're wanting and your procedures and how you're going to handle it and so forth?
Yes, sir. We, most of y'all know we have the Bridge Restaurant, my wife and I, and we have always wanted some type of event. You know, we have limited room for, I would say retirement parties. We do rehearsal dinners and things like that. I've sort of had my eye on this property for a long time, I've talked about it, and, so there's been, different things looked at it, grocery stores, and the way it was laid out, it just wasn't feasible for that to come. So it just happened to come back around again, and I just got with the church, and, the church is, there's a church there now that actually rents the building, and I think they're running a daycare. I believe they have a special use permit, for you guys. And, of course, with the time, I'm not asking to cancel that by no means now, but by the time that, we get started, we'll have to present our plans to the county, of course, and have the architect draw them up. But I do believe my last conversation was that the director was planning on retiring, and so we just want to make sure that they're taken care of and not run out at a certain time. But we would like to do a facility for weddings, events. We really have nothing on that side of the county. We got the Ag Center down here, but there's a lot of folks that wants to have a 150 person, like a 50-year anniversary, something like that. And then, of course, we would do weddings, and so it's just kind of just sort of an all-around event. I know it falls under the sports heading, but we have no intentions of doing any kind of sports inside there. It'd be just private weddings and private events.
And all the events will be held inside?
Yes, sir, that's correct. Yes, sir.
This is just a short distance, walking distance from the restaurant anyway.
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, just across the creek there, I've got the property across from it, so it would, it's just right there at us. And to be honest with you guys, the timing of this thing is, my daughter will be graduating school, in a couple of years, and so it's something that I think she'd be very good at. So it'll be family ran, and we will have, it'll be, if you like the bridge atmosphere, you look at it the same thing, so.
Anyone have any questions?
I do. Kevin, is the daycare still gonna stay there?
No, sir. I've had this under contract, and I'll be honest with you, I'm waiting on this meeting. I'll probably close this thing next week or two, depending on your decision. But I'll give them a little bit of time as far as architectural plans and things like that. But they'll have some time to. But no, the daycare, because we're going to go inside. And do you have a rendered drawing in your packet there of what the place is going to look like when we finish with it?
The inside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The
We
inside.
have the inside.
Yes, sir. And then on the outside, we're gonna have, the aesthetics, we're gonna change it. We're gonna put a portico on the front. We're gonna do some fountains in the front of it and a lot of landscaping. And, I think you'll be very, very pleased with it. It'll be sort of a, kind of a white, modern looking building with, a lot of lighting and fountains.
So, excuse me, going forward in the future, then this wouldn't be operating as a church?
No, sir, it won't be operating, no, sir. It'll be a taxable income from here on out. Good for the county.
I was wondering, with all the screening, churches usually don't like that much.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. I think what we'll do is for privacy, and I will tell you this, the acreage that we're looking at is, I'm buying the entire acreage, the 14 acres, so it will go all the way down, so we don't have to worry about anybody coming up next door and trying to put something there that has a problem with it, so we'll have it all the way to the intersection. Which a good bit of that, the flood on the lower side down there, it kind of comes up in that area, so it'll all be natural, so we'll maintain it and keep it cut.
So are you in agreement with all the staff recommended conditions?
Yes, sir, I am, yes, sir.
Anyone else have any questions?
Are you gonna have some weddings on site too? Is there gonna be any garden area, or everything's gonna be inside?
Everything's inside, yes, sir, yes, sir. We will have garden areas, as a landscape,
Right.
but, it'll be wedding, yes, sir.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Mr. Thurman? You good? All right, thank you, Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Now, you
okay.
saying around 150 people?
No, sir, it'll be based on square footage. It depends on if you got people sitting there, or if you have, and again, it goes back to Mr. Thurman's comments, it'll be based on the fire marshal, whatever they allow for square footage. So what we have, we've got about 30-something hundred square foot now, and I just will tell you this, in the original plan of the church, you can tell, and Dean Arp is helping with as far as the engineering, you could tell that the building was already designed to be expandable, so they didn't put the end wall. So when it's expanded again, you'll have about 7,000, somewhere about square foot there at that point. But then you just take the floor area, and it depends on how many people you're sitting at tables, or you just have chairs. It depends on the situation. So they'll base that. So it's no, I guess it's a square footage by the fire marshal.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm just saying our average would probably be, a wedding, I can't imagine over 150, 200 people, that's a big wedding. And one more thing I'd like to add too, the daily traffic that goes in and out of this place, which is minimum, but most of our stuff will be done after hours on the weekends. And so that was one of the things that Travis looked at is, hey, you're not gonna have this 9 to 5 traffic going in and out of this thing all the time. It'll be a concentrated time. The people will do their business and then they'll be out. So, and it will be fall mostly on the weekends.
Apparently, since there's no opposition here, everyone around you must be completely satisfied.
Well, I hope so. I hadn't had anybody even reach out. As a matter of fact, I've called Jim a couple times and Lee. I said, hey, have you heard anything? He said, no. So I'm very pleased that it's people like what we're talking about.
Okay.
So.
Any other questions? Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Mr. President. Okay, we have now concluded the portion of the cases that pertains to the presentation of evidence. The board shall now proceed to the discussion and decision portion of the cases. Interested parties are not permitted to address the board during this portion of the meeting. However, everyone is permitted to remain present and listen quietly to the board's decision, discussion, and vote. All right, we can go with the findings of facts. And they are presented in the packet as to what they said with it. All right, the number one findings of fact, the proposed use and development comply with all regulations and standards generally applicable within the zoning district and specifically applicable to the particular type of special use. Their response to this is the property is currently permitted and being used as a place of gathering. The proposed special use would remain a place of gathering.
I make a motion, we accept what they presented as our finding of fact.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Number two, the proposed development will not materially endanger the public health or safety. The proposed use would continue to remain in compliance and utilize all public access, stormwater, and utilities which are currently in place. Any discussion?
Again, I agree with using that as our finding of facts, what they've written.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I'm sorry?
I didn't get a second.
I'll second.
Okay.
All right, number three, the proposed development will not substantially injure the value of a budding property or is a public necessity. Morrison Appraisal, which is in your packet, Morrison Appraisal conducted an impact study that concluded that allowing the proposed use would not injure the value of a budding property. Any discussion?
I think it's important to know that the events that are gonna be there are gonna be the same type and nature that's already there with the church. And that, it's even within walking distance of Mr. Presley's restaurant there, so it's not changing the character of the neighborhood at all. And
Probably improving it.
yeah, and see the area that he talked about, he's purchasing is even a flood zone where you can't build, so it's not likely that anybody would be building anywhere close to this property anyway. So I don't see how it could possibly have any impact other than really improving the properties there.
That's my thought.
I think there's evidence to back that up because there's no one here to oppose it tonight.
Yes, sir.
Everyone's.
Everybody decide.
Yeah. All right, do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, item four, the proposed development will be in harmony with the area in which it is located. The location of this proposed use would continue to be in harmony with the area since the current building and use has been in place for several years. Discussion?
Pretty simple. Motion to accept that.
Motion, here a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the proposed development will be in general conformity with the comprehensive plan. The current comprehensive plan reflects the location as an established place of gathering. This will not change under the proposed use, therefore the proposed use will remain in general conformity with the comprehensive plan. Discussion?
I agree with it. Make a motion, we accept that as a finding.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, do I hear a motion that we accept?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, we accept, we approve special use permit number 2022 SUP 01 with staff recommendations.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You approve, Mr. President? Thank you for your presentation.
I appreciate y'all coming out just for me tonight. I'm glad you didn't hold that against me.
Well, we are kind of looking for maybe a good dinner when we come up there. Good food. All right, you're welcome to stay till we close out the meeting, or you're welcome to go.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all again, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Hope it works out good for you.
Take care.
I'll see you on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
All right, is there any other discussion that we have for tonight?
I do, we may have something for next month, or June rather.
Somebody emailed me today to find out, when the last day they could turn in, for this month, for the next meeting. So if they get it in by Friday, then I guess June will let y'all know, so you may have a June meeting.
Okay. Okay.
Do
Any
we
other
have a
discussion, or?
Meeting? Okay, so we'll have elections in June? Okay.
So there will be a meeting for the elections, or wait till the next meeting to
Wait
have
till the
elections?
Let's just wait till, we don't need to
We don't
convene
have
a
a
meeting
meeting
just for elections.
Okay. Is that good with everybody?
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
Is there any other discussion we need to have? Everything good?
Appreciate the package.
Doing a good job, Ms. Amy.
Yes, Amy, thank you so much. Mr. Thurman, do you have anything to add to the meeting?
Nothing to add?
Do I hear a motion we adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Then a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good job, Matthew. Thank you.
Yes. Welcome, glad to have you tonight, sir.
Man, you did a poor job. Did a great job, man.
That was tough, wasn't it?
We hate to keep you so long.
Yeah, I know, we,